Do you recall when there was genuine concern that XRP would miss out on this whole market cycle? I never subscribed to such pessimism. The artificial price suppression caused by the SEC's constant campaign was the only thing preventing XRP from rising last cycle, as far as I could tell. It was just a matter of time until that legal veil began to clear. When November finally arrived and the election results were announced, XRP came out on top. That was the final answer to the participation question. The major accomplishment we had all been anticipating, breaking that record-breaking high, came next. And that's exactly what happened on January 16th. Here's the problem though. It appeared to be testing the waters as it was just barely breaking through the previous $3.35 top. It had to truly break free and begin venturing into unexplored terrain for us. In recent days, it surged up to $3.65, formally entering price discovery stage, so we got what we wanted. Yes, since then there has been a slight reversal. However, that's only the whole cryptocurrency market taking a breather. Nothing unique to XRP. We still have the true thrill to come. Through all these years of frustration, we XRP holders have been patiently waiting for this. Price discovery's face-melting stage. At that moment, XRP might soar into those wildly improbable price ranges that we've always thought were achievable. And to be honest, I still believe that's exactly what's going to happen. There were plenty of those who said that XRP would never be anything in the years before this point. However, it's no longer a wild fantasy that XRP will reach double-digit levels this cycle. In fact, it's within the probabilities. Look, I don't do precise price forecasting, therefore I'm not here to do that. However, it is no longer wild talk for anyone who is talking on $10 or more XRP this cycle. Now we're in a whole different place, and there have been significant changes in the fundamentals. The face-melting phase that everyone has been anticipating is about to happen, I assure you. Everything is starting to fit together, and given past trends and present momentum, it will happen very soon. The arrangement is simply too ideal. According to one XRP chart analyst, we might actually reach $4 to $5 before the end of this month. And here's the thing, as I'm assembling this, July 28th has already arrived. The time now is 3:06 a.m. Monday morning, Central Time. Thus, we are discussing the final days of the month. I'm telling you, XRP's fundamentals have never looked this strong, and we've been right on everything thus far. The fact that XRP is becoming one of the early winners in the cryptocurrency sector is extremely evident. And to be honest, I believe that as this unfolds, we will be further validated. But let me be completely honest before I go any farther. I have absolutely no experience in finance. I am by no means offering financial advice, and you should not base any investment decisions on my advice. I'm just a hobbyist that genuinely enjoys creating cryptocurrency-related YouTube videos. I enjoy it. That's all. As I write this, the price of XRP is currently $3.27. Just a few hours ago, we genuinely appeared to be getting ready for another quick run. The value of XRP increased to $3.32.99. However, Ethereum and Bitcoin both had a minor decline, which essentially brought the market as a whole down a notch. At the moment, Bitcoin is hovering just above $119,000. However, I genuinely believe that will also rip higher. Crypto Wizard, a chart analyst, is revealing something quite intriguing. An illustration of the market domination of Tether and USDC. His caption is straightforward but effective. Allow it to happen. He is highlighting just what we would like to see occur at this moment. As he had predicted, Tether and USDC's supremacy has retreated and fallen sharply. The important portion comes after. He's suggesting that this decline isn't yet complete, which means one thing. The value of altcoins is increasing. Altcoins rise when stablecoin dominance declines. It's that simple. According to this graphic, the market share of these two stablecoins had decreased to just 5.9% by the time he wrote on Sunday afternoon. Contrast that with the 2023 peak, when it increased to about 15%, perhaps even reached the 16.5% wick seen on the chart. In any case, it has been crashing from those peaks. And as we move farther into a bull market cycle, that is just what you would anticipate seeing. What is actually taking place here? Individuals are transferring their funds from stable coins to other assets. Of course, as a market cycle draws to a close, stablecoin dominance always declines. And that's precisely what's happening at the moment. The direction of the trend is exactly what we want to see. The fact that this is taking place just as Bitcoin's hegemony is beginning to wane just heightens the excitement. That has always been the formula for alt season in the history of cryptocurrency. These patterns have always developed in this manner. I'm not saying that we are currently in the midst of the full alt season, but wow, the signs are unmistakably there. Some quite obvious indicators are starting to appear, and in this video, we'll dissect each of them. This is another Crypto Wizard update that examines the Bitcoin chart. He notes that people were very pessimistic too soon, and refers to this as the last wave delivering. In keeping with his warnings regarding this last wave, Bitcoin broke beyond $110,500 and entered price discovery mode. The problem is that he doesn't believe it's finished yet, not even close. He thinks we should just wait and see, aiming for the cycle's final peak of $131,500. In contrast to many other analysts I follow, that price prediction is actually fairly modest. What someone like a blockchain backer has been stating is exactly in line with this. He has made several references to the $130,000 to $135,000 area for Bitcoin. He's not promising anything, but that's his approximate ballpark, and he might be right. The intriguing thing is that the chart experts I follow are actually exhibiting some of these more reasonable expectations. The majority of them are not making wildly optimistic projections. They're trying to keep things grounded. Here's the lovely part though. It would be more than sufficient to meet those cautious goals in order to cause XRP's price to move in an extremely insane manner. To be honest, I'm hopeful that Bitcoin would rise even farther than that. Because more capital moves into the rest of the cryptocurrency market, including directly into XRP, the more money is taken out of Bitcoin at its high. He is drawing attention to a really intriguing aspect of this chart. The current patterns appear to be nearly analogous to those in the past, particularly from 2017. It has that same Zub vibe to it, and he believes that the last parabolic push higher is on the horizon. To be honest, I hope the analysts who predict Bitcoin peaks of 150,000 to 180,000 prove correct, rather than the more conservative ones. Here's what I know for sure, but we'll all have to wait and see how this turns out. When people begin to take profits, more money will eventually flow into XRP as Bitcoin rises. I follow these trends and keep an eye on Bitcoin's fluctuations for just this reason. Bitcoin isn't the reason I'm watching it. What it signifies for my altcoins is important to me. Although I have held some Bitcoin since 2017, I am mostly concerned with how this affects my alternative investments. That probably applies to the majority of you who are viewing this as well. Look, Bitcoin isn't offering the true chance to make life-altering money in cryptocurrency this year. Altcoins will be the source of it. Bitcoin isn't even close to being a competitor at the moment, but I'm not saying it can't be worth much more in the long run. Bitcoin's performance has been dominated by large-cap altcoins, and I think they will continue to do so. An Ethereum-focused post from a blockchain supporter can be found here. Ethereum has historically been the spark that ignites alt season, which is why I'm bringing this up. This is what I've been saying for months. Ethereum is still very much alive. As ETH fell to about $1,400, I was nearly yelling it. Do you know what took place? The more ignorant people claimed it was finished, the cheaper the price fell. These absurd justifications for Ethereum's purported doom would be offered by them. Here's the problem though. The basics remain constant. It's not a portent of doom when you witness a decline in price, yet the underlying fundamentals remain unchanged or even strengthen. When an item is actually finished, that is usually not the case. And my did I ever get that right. It was only a few hours ago when Ethereum reached nearly $4,000. From that $1,400 low, to almost $4,000 in the last few hours, we're talking about a huge shift. It's the kind of performance that immediately silences all the skeptics. ETH has risen back over the 70.2% retrace of its 4-year range, and was only 6% away from $4,100, which has been acting as ongoing resistance since early 2022, according to a blockchain